The Young and the Restless spoilers deliver the moment we've all been waiting for. Private investigator Denise Tolliver locates Damien. Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis are beyond happy yet cautious. Meanwhile, a mystery ally joins Billy Abbott in his scheme against Victor Newman. Finally, Sharon embarks on a recovery path. The Young and the Restless spoilers are starting off the week with some good news for a change. The OG detective, Denise, has cracked the case. The breadcrumbs she followed led her all the way to Los Angeles. Denise returns to Genoa City and announces Damien's hunt is over, leaving Nate and Amy floored. Subsequently, Amy is over the moon about the discovery, but there's a tricky part ahead. The duo must carefully break this life-changing news to Damien without causing a meltdown. It seems like Nate and Amy have some serious strategizing to do. After all, they wouldn't want their new family member to spiral out of control. Over at Society, Billy Abbott is out for revenge. Furthermore, his target this time is the business maestro Victor Newman. The man confidently tells Sally Spectra that he's got the ultimate takedown plan. He has pieced together his plan with a finesse, leaving no room for failure. However, Sally is getting a bit fishy about this newfound optimism and tries to dig for more information. Billy's gets aid. Sharon begins her hypnosis. That's when Billy drops a cryptic hint. He hints that his card of ace has just walked through the door. Who could this mystery man be? And what role will they play in Billy's master plan? Meanwhile, Sharon Newman is ready to explore her subconscious with the help of Alan Laurent. Our girl begins her hypnosis session as she's desperate to recover her fragmented memories. The cutest part in this whole chaos? Nick Newman stands by her side to comfort her. Sharon feels nervous to take the plunge into her psyche. Finally, Jordan and Ian Ward better pack their bags to flee the scene. Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. Lily is more or less a lone wolf right now on The Young and the Restless. She's out at Chancellor, and she's not exactly thrilled by the idea of working with her brother again. In fact, she's not happy about the idea of joining any of the current massive corporations in town. For that reason, we would like to see Lily start something of her own. Lily is a highly intelligent lady who can do whatever she sets her mind to. Lily's headed up two of the biggest companies around, and she thrived as a CEO. She's one of the only people who could hold that amount of power in her hands and not let it go to her head. She's fair, she's even, and she deserves the world. Lily thought she found her calling after she got out of prison for Hillary's death. She was helping women reclaim their lives after lockup, and we believe she should revisit that part of her life. If Lily had started a new foundation, it would have been the perfect way to revamp herself and her career path. What we'd like to see for Lily is branching off on a solo venture and starting up her own business. Something big, something beautiful, something she never has to share or hand over or fear having ripped out from underneath her. But what kind of company would she run? Something like that in Genoa City would be perfect. Her foundation could work closely with Nick and Devon's New Hope project. She could help women re-enter the workforce, while Devon and Nick would help them with housing. It would be a win-win all the way around. The bottom line is that Lily deserves her own legacy. She deserves something she can pass on to her own children that is just hers. She is a power player and should be flexing that power every chance she gets. Lily doesn't need to play second fiddle or worry about scandals and power-hungry men ruining her position. Ahem, Billy. It's time for Lily to rise high on her own and gain the recognition she so richly deserves. The Young and the Restless spoilers confirm that Sharon Newman is not too far from being proven innocent. Currently, she is neck-deep in trouble, trying to stay afloat with her mental health struggles and trying to prove that she is innocent. Thankfully, she has Nick Newman to depend on. In fact, the way the two are sticking together in her time of need makes us feel like Cupid is about to strike. Nick and Sharon have a long romantic history together, per the Young and the Restless spoilers. So it is pretty understandable that they will always feel some sort of love for each other. However, we have seen them close just to part ways again way too many times. Thus, we aren't convinced that the makers will give us a happy ever after with them so soon. So we have to consider the possibility that both Nick and Sharon may head towards separate romantic directions when the storm has calmed. Interestingly, Daniel Rumalotti became very alert in a recent episode when the possibility of Sharon being tugged came to light. Even though his mom Phyllis wasn't convinced, Daniel was. He has started to realize that a possible drugging explains a lot, especially Sharon's out-of-character behavior. A love story we didn't see coming. We know that Sharon isn't really guilty of the crimes that recently went down. Ian Warren and Jordan are responsible for Heather's death. In fact, they even orchestrated Phyllis Summers' car crash. Thus, it is safe to say that Sharon and Daniel both have had their lives disrupted by the wicked duo. So if Daniel starts to do some snooping and uncovers the truth, he will immediately develop a soft spot for Sharon. This realization could give both Sharon and Daniel a fresh perspective on each other and a common ground to connect on. But could it also open the door for a romantic connection? Well, we have seen stranger and more unpredictable things on Y and R. So why not? Besides, it would be fun to see Phyllis flipping over her son dating her nemesis. Aren't we all here for the drama? In the latest Young and Restless preview for the week of December 16 to 20, Sharon goes under, but not the way one might think. Nate hired a private investigator to help find his half-brother Damien, which paid off. Next week, the private investigator tells Amy and Nate it's their call to decide where they want to take this. Amy says, "We found him, Nate. We found your brother." Could this who Nathan Owens will be playing in the new year? Jack finally told Billy about the con he and Diane pulled to extricate Kyle from Victor's clutches. He also learns how Jack bamboozled Victor over Glissade and was warned by his brother not to go after Victor over the Chancellor takeover. As if that would stop Billy. Later, Diane offered Billy a solution to his problems and a way to keep him out of trouble. Next week, Billy tells Sally, "I'm not going to fail." She asks how he can be so sure. Billy replies, "Because I have a plan," and he just walked in the door. Who does Billy assume he can count on to help him out this time? Nick and Chance came through for Sharon and learned her meds had been laced with PCP. That would explain her visions of Cameron and her blackouts. Of course, they were left wondering with the even bigger question, who would do this to Sharon and why? Nick was also worried that whoever did this might strike again. He has no idea that Jordan and Ian already know their tainted meds have been discovered. Coming up, it's time for a hypnosis session. At Sharon's house, she says to Alan, "I accept that this may not work, but I'm desperate, and I'm willing to try whatever I can to recover my memory." What will she recall? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Colleen Zink is talking about the possibility that her character, Jordan, can be redeemed. Her crimes include kidnapping and terrorizing a little boy, hooking a helpless woman up to a vodka IV, then stabbing the woman's son. Jordan is high up in the villain universe, but she has also paid a price for her evil doing, being locked up in Victor Newman's dungeon and fed only Brussels sprouts. Ew. Here's what the As the World Turns alum has to say about her current character's shot at redemption. Zink blew into GC in November 2023 as a mean lady bent on ruining the Newman family. She brought her niece Claire Newman along for the ride, and together the two women kidnapped and poisoned Nikki Newman. The plot was foiled when one by one the Newmans came to the Oregon Beach house to rescue Nikki, including Claire's biological parents, Victoria Newman and Cole Howard. But Jordan came back to GC and waged another vicious vendetta against the clan. Not only had she ruined Nikki's sobriety, She killed Nikki's AA sponsor Seth, kidnapped Claire, and burned down Victoria's house. Y&R spoilers. Will Jordan Howard see the light? Victor finally got a hold of Jordan and put her in his own personal basement jail cell. When Cole and Michael Baldwin discovered her plight, she was sent to real prison. However, Jordan is back on the loose and causing havoc with the help of Ian Ward. While Sally will be concerned that Billy is headed for trouble, after all, many have tried to mess with the mustache and have failed. Abbott will reveal he's got an ace in the hole. During the Y&R preview for December 16 to 20, Billy will allude that someone will be key to this scheme, and note that they just walked through the door. As Sally looks on, the preview flashes to another scene and storyline. So who is Billy talking about, and will he succeed? Y&R spoilers. Sharon Newman's Hypnosis. Across town, Y&R spoilers for Monday, December 16 suggest that Sharon Newman will gear up for her hypnosis session, which will take place at her home. Added teasers state that Alan Laurent will show up, but he'll also make it clear that she may not get all the answers she's interested in. However, that won't stop Sharon's determination to get to the truth. It's clear that there are risks involved in this undertaking, and the session may not produce any concrete results, but Sharon will be willing to take those chances to move forward. The Young and the Restless spoilers, shocking discoveries. Lastly, Y&R spoilers for Monday hint that Sharon's hypnosis session could offer some stunning bombshells. It looks like Sharon won't go through this alone, as Nick Newman will be on hand. It's also likely Faith Newman and Michael Baldwin will also be there, as both mentioned the need to support Sharon during her hypnosis. So what kind of memories from Heather Stevens' murder or Phyllis Summers' crash will resurface? Latest Young and Restless spoilers for Monday, December 16 through Friday, December 20. Sharon's big risk may pay off as she and Nick make a shocking discovery that leaves him worried for her safety. Elsewhere, Claire starts a, hopefully, happy new chapter. While at the Abbott Manse, it's time for a holiday walk down memory lane. But not everyone in Genoa City is feeling jolly, as Ian urges Jordan to do things that will definitely land her on the naughty list. Sharon takes a big risk to prove her innocence, and what could possibly go wrong with Martin or Alan leading the hypnosis session. Although Phyllis doesn't really require a push in this particular direction, Billy nonetheless encourages his partner in plotting to make a bold move. Popcorn alert. Ian today reveals details about his past with Jordan. We can't wait to hear how the gruesome twosome first crossed paths. Young and Restless intrigue ahead. Phyllis and Billy's plot against Victor, Sharon's hypnosis reveal, and Nate's new bad boy big brother. Young and Restless spoilers for Tuesday, December 17. If Billy's planning to use Jack in his plan to get revenge on the mustache, he is bound to be frustrated when his brother stands his ground. Tasked with the relaunch of Jabot Classics, Diane vows to prove herself at the family company. It's Take Your Granddaughter to Work Day as Nikki helps Claire start a new chapter. Young and Restless spoilers for Wednesday, December 18. Victoria's got a lot on her mind, including Claire's new role in the family business. Perhaps the wise words offered by Mom Nikki will help calm her. Jack and Tracy recall memories of Christmas past. Nate and Amy ask Denise Tolliver to help find Damien. Could the very shocking discovery made by Sharon and Nick put them on a path toward clearing her name once and for all? Phyllis had her whole scheme laid out before her, but she's about to make a few key adjustments. Something tells us this could prove problematic. Young and Restless spoilers for Friday, December 20. Tessa, watch out, you're walking straight into a trap. As if Jordan doesn't already deal from the bottom of the proverbial deck, Ian suggests that she's not playing dirty enough. Daniel does his best to keep up appearances, if only for the sake of daughter Lucy. As things spiral further out of control all around them, Nick can't help but worry about Sharon's safety. Will him playing hero finally lead to a reunion for the longtime super couple? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally Spectra will finally evaluate her feelings for Billy Abbott. Sally said she waited because she didn't want this thing with Billy to be a rebound thing. How does Sally feel about him now? The Young and the Restless spoilers. How does Sally Spectra really feel? The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Sally had no intention of falling for Billy. Sally planned on her and Billy just having fun, and so did he. However, Billy and Sally seem to be with each other anytime they have a chance. Billy and Sally seem to really care about each other, and no one believes that. How does Sally feel about Billy? Billy certainly put Phyllis Summers in her place when she talked about Sally. Sally is also very protective of Billy as well. Sally offered to let Billy go after Sally to see if she needed him. Billy refused. Sally tells him to go on, and she will wait up for him. Sally goes seem to care. Y&R spoilers. Sally Spectra supports Billy Abbott's friendships. Sally knows that Billy is close to Phyllis, and she supports him being a friend and being there for her. Sally knows that Phyllis doesn't like her, but she doesn't care. Billy feels bad that Phyllis needs a friend, but he doesn't want to desert Sally. Phyllis is an important person to him even though they aren't together. Sally trusts Billy to see what Phyllis needs and to return. Sally isn't worried about Billy ending up in bed with someone while he is out listening to her problems. Sally doesn't know Billy as well as Adam Newman. Sally does know that she cannot trust Adam to do that. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Is this a lasting relationship? Sally and Billy seem to be getting to the point of trusting each other more every day. Sally and Billy look forward to being with each other. So far, Sally and Billy have been getting along very well. Sally and Billy could have a great relationship if they want it. Will Sally and Billy continue to work on their relationship? Sally truly hasn't had enough time to get over Adam, and that is the same for Billy and Chelsea Lawson. However, Sally and Billy have plenty of time to get to know each other and work on their relationship. Billy and Sally seem to have a good thing going. Maybe these two should keep this up and see where it goes. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates teased Sharon Newman is leaning on Nick Newman more than she ever has in the past. But does this indicate a potential romantic reconciliation? Loyal fans of Nick and Sharon are eagerly anticipating the possibility of their reunion, yet the outcome remains uncertain. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Is Chic really endgame? The show has a habit of making it seem like Sharon and Nick are going to reunite, only to avoid going all the way in the end. It's possible that Nick and Sharon could still be headed down separate romantic paths. Of course, Sharon has to focus on her mental health and clearing her name right now, but there'll be room in her life for love down the road. It never hurts to look ahead a bit and start making some long-term predictions. That brings us to Daniel Romalotti Jr., who immediately latched onto the idea of Sharon getting drugged once he heard about it. Y&R spoilers. Phyllis remains skeptical. Phyllis Summers is still doubtful about the recent developments, but Daniel is beginning to suspect that there might be a valid explanation for Sharon's unusual behavior. We also need to think about who Y&R might pair Daniel with now that Heather Stevens is out of the picture. It seems Lily Winters is no longer a viable option, especially with hints suggesting she might soon find herself falling for someone else. Meanwhile, Jordan and Ian Ward are implicated in Heather's situation, and they were also behind Phyllis' accident. Given that Jordan has been carrying out Ian's schemes, it's only a matter of time before Sharon and Daniel uncover the truth. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Both Daniel and Sharon were victimized by the deadly duo. Both Daniel and Sharon have suffered at the hands of this nefarious pair, which raises the question, could this shared experience create a bond between them in the future? Might Sharon and Daniel discover a fresh outlook that paves the way for a romantic spark? Perhaps Sharon will finally move past the blame she directed at Daniel regarding Cassie Newman's tragic fate. It would certainly be a surprising turn of events if Sharon and Daniel found themselves igniting a passionate connection. Whether it blossoms into a genuine relationship or simply a steamy encounter, Phyllis would undoubtedly be thrown into a frenzy, making it all the more tempting to explore this possibility. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Victor Newman cannot admit he's been had. So why did he congratulate Jack Abbott for outplaying him in the Glissade deal? Kyle Abbott's talk with his father at Society was enlightening. Both men agreed that they trusted Diane Abbott, but Victor is trying to unnerve her and Kyle that the Abbott family will implode. Obviously, the mustache wants turmoil in the lives of those he loathes. But devoted viewers know that Victor's prediction feels like more than just wishful thinking. He may have set something in motion or is counting on emotional history repeating. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Why not ignore Victor Newman? Does the head of any company in the Midwestern metropolis of Genoa City, Wisconsin, have more free time than the great Victor Newman? Stepping back as the head of Newman Enterprises in recent years gave Victor more time to scheme, and he's done precisely that. Fans recall that Braden's character was diagnosed with a rare blood disorder in the recent past, which caused him to release the reins of his fabled conglomerate. However, he retook the helm from Victor Newman within the last year and is riding hard. So he's made time for his favorite hobby, getting Jack. Of everyone in the world, other than Nikki Newman, Jack easily tops a specific list. He's gotten Victor's goat more often than anyone and has beaten him on various occasions. Of course, the writers established Jack as Victor's dramatic foil decades ago. It wouldn't be likely that two heads of business, with Gibbot being much the lesser when compared to Newman Enterprises, would needle each other endlessly. Yet these two ever-immature boys have done so. Victor's supposed acknowledgement of Jack's win is a disguised message. Bergman's character knows his enemy is coming for him, but he needs to know when or what method will be used next time. Diane remains insecure. She was shaken by some of what Jack said to her during their ruse. Victor wants to believe the worst, but is not wrong when sensing vulnerability. The first test comes as Kyle returns to work, beside his father, at the family business. Diane will be heading what has become the Glissade division. It's not out of the realm of possibility to believe that Victor sold off Glissade's pieces, knowing they were poisoned in some way. If not, his belief that Diane, Jack, and Kyle can't work under the same soapy roof will be the stronger predictor. The Genoa City residents currently have a lot going on in their lives on the Young and the Restless. After Phyllis's near-fatal road accident, she has escalated her attack on Sharon, trying to pin both her accident and Heather's murder on her longtime rival. To add to their troubles, Ian and Jordan are about town aiming to cause more harm. On the other hand, the Abbotts are having their own trouble as Jack and Diane's plan to trick Victor is not completely successful. Moreover, Victor is trying to convince Claire to reject her romantic interest in Kyle. In the Newman house, Nikki is busy settling into the new mansion while running her new office. On another arc, Nate is tasked with finding his half-sibling Damien. The long-running CBS daily soap is slated to bring more drama in the upcoming week. While Sharon is set to go into hypnosis therapy with Alan, Phyllis is still resolved to see her locked away. Claire is ready to start in the family business and needs support from Nikki and Victoria. Billy and Phyllis plan to take revenge on Victor, while Diane tries to prove herself in running the family business. Sharon Newman is desperate to find out the truth behind the mess she is in. She knows she has blackouts and must know what happened during her blackout spells. She hopes a session with Alan Laurent may smooth out much of the mystery. Longtime The Young and the Restless fans may remember Alan has an evil twin, Martin, who spoiled Ashley Abbott's mental sanity. Whether Sharon meets the real psychologist Alan or his twin Martin remains to be seen. On the other hand, Billy will be a true friend to Phyllis and encourage her to make a strong move. This comes at a time when Phyllis could use more allies on her side. In another arc, the criminal Ian Ward will reveal his first meeting with co-conspirator Jordan Howard. After receiving a bad deal from Victor over Glissade, a disgruntled Diane Abbott is ready to relaunch Jabot Classics, a family business. She must prove herself by running it successfully, as her family needs good news after their recent patch of struggle. On another side, young Claire Newman Howard is also set to join the family business with her grandmother Nikki's help. As the Young and the Restless spoilers suggest, it may be the right time for the young woman to learn the ropes. Billy Abbott is still planning his moves to take revenge on Victor Newman. However, his decision to include his older brother, Jack Abbott, in his ploy may lead to frustration. Upright Jack may stand his ground and not comply with Billy's schemes. Victoria Newman cannot help but feel motherly concern when it is about her daughter Claire Howard. As Claire is starting her new job in the family business, Victoria is worried. Her mother, Nikki, will come to her rescue, offering words of advice that will help calm the harried mother. Christmas is approaching, and Jack and Tracy Abbott reminisce about old times. The brother-sister duo remembers Christmases of the past on The Young and the Restless. Nate Hastings has been tasked with getting half-sibling Damien home. As he and Amy look for possible solutions, they will reach out to investigator Denise Tolliver. This will lead to Amy and Dennis reuniting after a long time on The Young and the Restless. Phyllis Summers is not yet ready to let go of her plan to frame Sharon. On the contrary, she has it all chalked out with just a few finishing adjustments needed. However, this may be a thorny proposition. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Sharon and Nick Newman discover some shocking truth. This could be about the crimes that Sharon has confessed to. The truth may lead Sharon to clear her name. The Young and the Restless fans know Jordan Howard as a psychotic evil character. She was never seen doing anything good. However, Ian is not happy with her moves and will ask her to get more wicked. This is likely to spell doom for Genoa City residents. As things are volatile around him, Nick feels overwhelmed by current situations. Moreover, he believes Sharon is innocent and he must protect her. His worry over Sharon's well-being may push the former super couple back together. Daniel Romalotti is unhappy with the way things are panning out. However, he will continue to keep up pretenses of positivity for his daughter, Lucy. As per the spoilers, Tessa is in danger as she may walk into a trap. The Young and the Restless spoilers weekly update for December 16 to 20 teases that Phyllis changes her revenge plans, Nate gets closer to finding his half-brother, and Tessa is caught in a trap. Tune in next week so you can catch all of the action in Genoa City. Nick and Mariah told Sharon that her medication had been tampered with. Jordan took on a new persona to try to find out what was going on. Kyle kept the peace between Summer and Claire. Daniel and Phyllis demanded justice for Heather. Abby and Devin returned home from their honeymoon. Ian was displeased to learn that Nick had figured out the truth about Sharon's pills. Victor got the upper hand against Jack by enlisting Michael to help him. Sharon spied on Phyllis and Lauren talking. Billy conspired with Diane on how to handle Victor, and she advised him to be careful. Victor tested Claire's loyalty as she started her new job. Lily made a tough decision and told Devon she would return to work at Winters. Audra made a promise to Nate that she'd do better. Sally evaluated her feelings for Billy after they ran into Phyllis. Phyllis's and Michael's friendship was tested further. Nate asked Devon and Lily to give Audra a second chance, and she helped things by getting vulnerable with Nate's family. Buckle up, fans of The Young and the Restless, as I'm about to propose a radical idea I'd like to see happen. Before Sharon and Nick take any real steps toward reconciliation. Sharon. should hop into a shocking romance with Daniel. Now, I'll admit, before Sharon found herself tangled in the Villainous web spun by Ian and Jordan, like many viewers, I saw the stars aligning for her and Nick to finally reconcile. They had been spending more time around each other. Adam aptly pointed out that the two belonged together, and shortly after she broke up with Chance, she realized she never stopped loving her first husband. Plus, Faith took the duo down memory lane, so it seemed as if the show's writers were trying to set the stage for a grand reunion. Then, as Sharon's mental health started to decline thanks to Jordan and Ian, causing her to act more erratic than ever, it was Nick who stepped up, pledging to always be there for her. Even now, he's her biggest defender as he tries to prove Sharon is not this evil person that the charges against her and Phyllis are making her out to be. I assume that eventually Sharon will be cleared of all wrongdoing when it comes to Heather's murder and Phyllis' car incident, and even receive little to no punishment for framing Daniel. This brings me back to my original point. Instead of her just running to Nick to jumpstart their romance, I'd like to see her become an item with Daniel, even if it's temporary. Can you imagine the amount of chaos a Sharon and Daniel relationship would unleash in Genoa City? Phyllis, for starters, would lose her mind seeing her son dating her longtime nemesis. I can picture her and Sharon getting into some heated arguments that could rival their previous clashes over the years. Nick, Faith, and Summer would also probably vehemently oppose Sharon and Daniel being together. On Nick's part, he may be extra peeved if he thought he and Sharon were reconciling soon. Oh, and Lucy would likely blow a gasket to go. When Sharon was taking the faulty meds, she was awful to Lucy. The teen may not quickly forget or forgive that. For those wondering how I even came up with a Sharon and Daniel pairing, during the week of December 9 on the soap, I started noticing Daniel was letting go of his rage at Sharon and was exhibiting sympathy for her as developments about Sharon being dosed with PCP came to light. While Phyllis still wants Sharon to pay dearly, he has a lot more compassion. I can envision, once Sharon is cleared, she'll still feel remorse for all that Daniel's been through. She may even offer him a high-profile position at Cassidy First as a result, which could benefit them both a great deal. He's a tech guy and could use a job, and she runs a tech company. Their working closely together could lead to some complicated romantic feelings between them. Lastly, because I know fans will raise the issue, let's talk about the age discrepancy that may cause some to balk at my idea. Sharon is older than Daniel, but she was also older than Chance when they dated. And because soap opera aging is a special thing, May-December romances are common and actually played up like it's no big deal. Victoria was older than Billy, Phyllis was older than Billy, Nick was older than Sally, and the list goes on. So Sharon and Daniel dating wouldn't be that much of a nuanced thing. To be clear, there has been no confirmation from the powers that Sharon and Daniel are headed in a romantic direction. However, wouldn't it be something to see the Young and the Restless spice things up with a massive surprise? The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Monday, December 16, reveals that while Jordan is waiting for Ian Ward to return to their motel room, she'll flash back to when he first approached her as an ordained minister in prison. Jordan will recall how she wanted nothing to do with Ian until he mentioned their Genoa City connection, which led to them airing their grievances against the Newmans. In other Y and R flashbacks, Jordan will recall quoting scripture to Ian and acting like he'd enlightened her. However, Jordan will also remember tempting Ian to get back what they'd lost, so that clearly brought the alliance that fans are seeing now. At Society, Ian will eavesdrop on Maria Copeland's conversation with Tessa Porter and Claire Newman, so he'll hear about Sharon Newman's hypnosis and the disturbing memories it could dig up. Once Ian realizes Claire is friends with Mariah and Tessa, he'll smile over that news and give Jordan updates later. Ian will think they should exploit this friendship, but Jordan will want to stick with their original plan. Ian will snap about Jordan not being the one who's calling the shots, but she'll fire back that they're equal partners. Even so, Ian will suggest the only reason the need to change things up is because Jordan botched her portion of the scheme. Jordan will once again insist she's not to blame, but Ian will want to focus on more important matters. After Ian suggests he can befriend Tessa using his charm, he'll tell Jordan to get Sharon out of the picture. Jordan will object since there are so many cops crawling around, but Ian will maintain that it's time for Sharon to depart this early plane for good. At the cottage, Alan Laurent will put Sharon under hypnosis, while Nick Newman and Michael Baldwin are present as well. Once Alan takes Sharon back to the night of Phyllis Summers' crash, she'll recall the bright lights behind her and how she pulled over to let a dark-colored pickup truck pass. Sharon will recall that the truck was going toward town, and she'll remember hearing the crash happen before panicking and wanting to help. Since Sharon will get a bit frantic, Ellen will bring her out of hypnosis and settle her down. Sharon will excitedly realize she indeed wasn't to blame for running Phyllis off the road, so Nick and Michael will be pleased over that revelation too. Michael will stress the importance of finding this truck and the driver to help Sharon's case. Although Sharon will want to keep going and uncover more blackout memories, especially from the night of Heather Stevens' demise, Alan won't think it's wise to overdo it. Nick and Michael will agree with Alan on that, so Sharon will hold off on trying to recover the rest of her memories despite her eagerness to know what happened. At Society, Phyllis will admit to Billy Abbott that she lied about having Victor Newman take down strategies because she wanted to get his attention. Phyllis will also backtrack on her support of Billy's plan since this could be dangerous. Since Phyllis put Summer Newman and Daniel Romalotti Jr. through enough already, she'll be hesitant to throw herself into more drama. Phyllis will advise Billy to reconsider going after Victor for the sake of his children, but he'll insist that this is something he has to do. Billy will feel confident that he can pull this off and will play up what a formidable duo they could be if Phyllis would join him. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis will have a tough decision to make, so we'll bring you more predictions on the road ahead for her. Since The Young and the Restless, Billy has so much time on his hands these days now that he's no longer-running chancellor, he seems to be committed to spending his days focusing on three things. He wants to be a good father to his two kids. He wants to spend more time developing his relationship with Sally, and arguably more important right now, he wants retaliation on Victor for taking Chancellor. He offered Jack the chance to join him in his efforts to get payback, and he went to Phyllis and begged her to join him in the vengeful cause. While Jack offered a pretty reserved response to his younger brother's offer at the time, Phyllis appeared more intrigued. And a Phyllis and Billy partnership can be dangerous, especially in matters of revenge. The exes are impulsive, don't always think of collateral damage, and they often go above and beyond when competing against Victor, as he's a force to be reckoned with. The duo could prove to be a chaotic, yet productive, mess. Fast forward to The Young and the Restless episode airing on December 11. And Billy and Diane have an interesting conversation. After being filled in by Jack on the ruse he and Diane pulled off on Victor, Billy asks how Diane managed to pull one over on Victor. She admits that Victor claimed to know Diane was attempting to trick him the entire time, but she still thinks she has some information that will help Billy in his war against Victor. The duo will probably continue to have their conversation in the next episode, and if show clues are accurate, Billy will make a proposition to Diane about collaborating against Victor as well. Considering Diane still has some work to do in repairing her family, she probably should focus on that and her new job as leader of Glissade. However, let's say her anger toward Victor fuels her to work with Billy. While we don't envision Billy and Diane being a complete disaster in a partnership against Victor, we do think the collaboration could lead to problems for her marriage with Jack and Billy's relationship with him. Also, in the episode from December 11, Jack asks Billy not to go after Victor, so the Jabot CEO would probably be furious if his brother roped his wife into a plot to do just that. Jack may become angry with Billy for being reckless and Diane for doing something she knows he wouldn't approve of. With all that being said, we actually can picture a scenario where Billy manages to convince both Phyllis and Diane to help him take down the mustache. First, Billy may confirm with each of them individually before letting all parties know they're in the I Hate Victor club together. Phyllis and Diane have loathed one another for decades, so there's a chance they'll balk at the idea. However, if Billy makes them think about the bigger picture of Victor's defeat, they may reluctantly agree to put their grudge on the back burner temporarily. If the three of them really put their minds together to humble Victor, they may stand a slight chance of winning a few battles against him. While we don't have confidence they can win the overall war, because this is the great Victor we're talking about, it may be fun to watch Victor have to really fight. Billy better bring his A game. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.